So yeah, who's having hang out? Where's Jared thing? Yeah, we're recording.
Sorry, not the level fib, time fib. If you expand the time fib out, any other
It's
dates
not
start.
going. I don't know why this thing is not moving.
Okay, it's not cooperating today. All good.
Correct. You have to
It says it's Saturday. It's not,
air. I
oh
have to
there.
move this thing to the side. Let's go
So what?
April 27.
Okay, something to keep in mind.
April 27 right there. So yeah, because right now, be- because if we look at them, it is S&P. It's trying to give a pretty clean way. So this one is 7.55% from peak to trough, right? Against 6.92, call like 7, right? Basically what it is a 100% relationship. That's what we call 4 versus 2. Distance travel in wave 2 will be exactly the same distance travel in wave 4 is what we call 4 versus 2. Wave 4 equal length of wave 2. Wave 4 is a 4 versus 2 is the 2. Makes it a 65 17. Yesterday we closed at where? 6506. So we're right here into that zone. So we tested 23.6 yesterday, 64.98, and 65.17. This is the confluence of fib support right there. Okay, this. So it really, I actually posted this thing on Twitter last night as well. It really doesn't matter how you want to label this thing. I know some people who are obsessed with labeling, if it's this and this and that. You can go three, you can do it like this as well. Okay. It really doesn't matter. Okay. So whatever makes you happy, you can do that. You can make as a 3, 3, and 3. Okay. Or you can just do this, what I have. A, B, and a diagonal down in C. The reason why I'm making this diagonal is because we have a lot of overlap. Okay. Right there. See, it's a huge overlap with swings. So when you have a lot of overlap, okay, remember the rule is always your wave. You want to make sure your wave count has the right look. Okay, so it always makes sense to put a because it has an overlap to turn into to label this thing as a diagonal. You can go as a complex as well. Okay, it's okay because complex has a lot of overlap as well on price. You see the way it goes. See, there's a bunch of overlap. So I'm just making a case for the C wave. C wave can be this, or it could be a diagonal with the like this. Next month is gonna be a is gonna I'm gonna have a much better idea what is gonna happen. So we're gonna just leave. I'm gonna just watch this in the next 7 days, let's say, to see where we close. If this is a diagonal, your minimum upside move is going to be this prior fourth wave. It's going to be a minimum upside target. Okay, that will take
Well,
several weeks to get back to get there anyway. So diagonals has a very well-defined upside target. There's always going to be a prior fourth wave. High is going to be a minimum bear upside target. So if that's the case, okay, so if 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 whatever the three-way bounce is gonna happen like this. Okay, and if the next month candle rolls over, yeah, either we're gonna go like this, or we're gonna go like this, 3 or 5 to the downside. Okay. So there are few things that, as I said, that I'm watching. And first is this. I don't really see that crude is gonna break 122. Okay. It tried last week, as you can see from that 76, got a massive spike all the way down here, all the way up to the 119. And look at the pin right there. Remember, we always look at a big, huge pin to the top or at the bottom. Okay. So you really had a lot of buyers that just uh, came and pushed this thing, and then you got a tons of sellers came and just flushed it back down. Look at the body right there of last week. So this week right there, as you can see, it was an inside week. Okay, so technically, crude ended up lower for the week, which was 1.23%. First week is down now. It's pretty stretched at 91 RSI right now as well. Okay, and we had an S&P right now, which is sitting at almost 16 RSI. Pretty oversold. All right. So that doesn't mean that the crude cannot make one more attempt to really go and hug this level. It's not going to make that far out from here. Okay. This is, you're not going to break this. I can tell you that. This level right there. But the point now is 98. Longer the thing price sits near this 100 level, it's what's going to keep the pressure in the pressure on. The other thing is the something to really watch is VIX. Okay. What I mean by that is, see, the VIX had a lower week. We have an S&P that is making lower lows. VIX is not making higher highs. Okay, this is the one sign I always watch. I've been watching this thing every day. It's like, why VIX is not going is making higher highs, and S&P is making lower lows all week. Okay, so you had a crude near the 100 mark for the whole week when that closed the week lower. We had VIX that is not making higher highs, ended the week lower. So what does that tell you? It's just the 6 trillion OPEX week that we just had. It's just all about the expiration of these options, because there's a lot of different asset class. It really doesn't match, doesn't really giving you that confirmation that, like, okay, yes, here we have wicks that is exploding to the upside. That's just not the case. But the fear, the pressure, the whole thing that everybody's sitting watching, thinking the world is coming to an end. Okay, well, there is nothing new or special to it. I mean, it's not like we haven't took advantage of this decline. We did with the trade. I had this pretty nice trade that we had um, on the put butterfly side. So we did position this move to the downside. Yeah, we have longs that you know, the ones that are getting hurt. And I'm gonna clean up some of them, and just to because the end of Q1, just don't want to carry over garbage, to be honest. Just gonna clear them out. So yeah, it just This is the same thing. There's some time here as well that just I've been watching. I don't really post these ones because there's the way I mean there's certain things that I watch and just to kind of give some time to see how it's gonna play out. But I mean, if you forget about the labeling here for a second and just to simply look at a price, it's just a double top, double bottom. Okay, that just doesn't really define a very well established sort of trend. Okay, we understand we had a massive expansion here, okay, of the April low, and then you just everything just literally went sideways. So the key answer, the this rotation right there is gonna once it's gonna try to make a move, which is gonna happen here, is when for me, I mean, I'm gonna try to see if we can buy here, there, but I'm not sizing any trades up anyways, okay, on the long side, but I'm trying to put little more size up on butterflies, okay, so they're for now, and then once I will see the scanner results is gonna move, starting to show up a lot of 60 plus moves. That's when we're gonna have. That's when the rotation, the the overall rotation is gonna look really good. So we're just not there yet. See, on the weekly side, we're still kind of soft right now. Not enough names. We need generals. It's only 15 names. Okay, it's been this way for weeks now. Some names are popping up here and there, but it's just nothing really. We don't have the generals. Okay, let's just put it this way. These are all the names. Has the potential right there. See, just this one, these two just only turned blue. Other ones are still red, but so like these are the early ones. So I mean, these names just not gonna do much to the S&P. They're like way down on the market cap, the overall weight on the index, and things like this, you know? So the rest of them are, which wherever they are, um, so if we look at the generals, this, so they're just not ready yet. So we can do, there goes the XOK. So you can see the XOKs right there that we've been tracking. Look at the other ones right there. See? So meta is there, but it's not gonna. The point is that there is nothing in a leading quadrant. You know, everything is just, and it's gonna improve. These are. I'm gonna buy every one of them, every single one of them. But we just gotta be a little patient with all these throwing trades up on the board. I'm being pretty selective on trades, especially this month. Not really throwing too much risk on the board. Yesterday, I didn't even trade anything. I was like, I am not interested buying these premiums, especially on the OPEX when they're about to expire. Um, this is once it's gonna start to turn is this is where NDA, well, this is when the NDA is gonna move. We need these guys right there. You see, like this is all blank. There's nothing came is sitting close to this line that is actually entering the leading quadrant yet. So it's gonna take some time though. Okay, I know the Q1 it's been a little rough. Um, but Q2 I would say is one we're gonna starting to position. And then if the the scanner is gonna start lighting up, there's more names gonna start coming up here. This number right there has to be at least 60 plus. Okay. I know how to look, I know what to look for. I know how to find trades, things like we just these are the names, just it's not gonna do the work. Like if just it's just not enough. You can just go by sectors, computers, like finance is one name right there, you see. Medical, other packages, like we just don't have big players here. Big players move the market. Market expansion is going to happen. It's going to happen from Mag 7. No other stock's going to do that. So technically what it is just as long as the crude stays close to the 100 level, it will keep the pressure on the market. Even the fact that the VIX, as you can see, is not making higher highs anyways. They're just gonna keep the pressure on. So I mean the selling is done. If the low is in, well, I don't know all this. Okay. So what we have here is we had a pretty side range, 3.4, 3.1, 3. Now we're down to 6.6 in March. Okay, so technically we had the biggest box compared since whatever. This was another side by side range 5.6, 5.5, 3.4, 3.1, 3.2. Now we're down to 6.6. It's pretty close. I don't know if we're gonna end up probably make another low or two or something, or might not. But we're as I said, it's just a matter of like we still have that big the month will end here. The whole box is the 1 month, this right there, April 1st. So we have another seven more candles to pop right there between this area from here to here to end this to fill this whole box for the March. And the April one, as I said, is the one is going to be the important one. If April end up going sideways, okay, it's going to be okay for the monthly bar. Okay, that because the inside month doesn't really it's not going to turn the swing down. We need three lower lows, meaning that we have one low, we have two lows now. So remember that. So now it's just a matter of like once this month ends, new month will open, new box will come up here. So that box right there for the month must hold this low. Whatever I mean, right now, we're just going to go off of this one. Whatever the low is going to be for March. If that turns, then we just gotta have that. I'm gonna just change this wavefront. I'm just gonna put a 5 here. One. We'll just go like this. Three or either 5 or 3. It's just that there's one thing that you gotta have to understand. Once the weekly swing turns down, it doesn't instantly turn right back up. Okay, so if we look at daily, Google is the only one on a grid on a daily time frame is up. Everything else is down. If we go back to a weekly time frame, Nvidia is the only one is up. Everything else is down. You see? Y is down, but look at the rotation right there. It's just getting worse and worse because of the sell-off. So basically what it is, it needs 3 weeks, okay, of higher highs. Say like Google right now has two. I'll just give you an example like this. See, this is bar number one, which is the outside bar that count as number one. The week that Google just had, that makes it number two. Next week, Google closed at what, 301? 301 yesterday. So next week, Google, if it breaks 312, that'll be bar number three. So this line right there is gonna go up like this. Okay. So Google is gonna has to fight for the next week. Third is always gonna be they call it defensive week, defensive bar that it really fight like these mag 7 especially they fight really hard on a third week. Either they're gonna give up the swing or they're gonna make up the swing. You know, so right now it's down because it's looking for one more week of of a higher high, then it turned the thing down. Like I'm like Apple, see 1, 2, 3. This was a higher week right there. See 1, 2, 3, turned down. The same thing here. You see, low was here, 1 week higher bar, second week higher bar. Look what happened the third week. Didn't want to make a new high above 280.90. Look at the high right there, 280.18. Like just pennies off. And look at the reversal. It took out this week low. See, that's 2 bars. That was a defensive week. You see, took out this low right there. That's it. Doesn't count. Now I have to reset back again and I'll look for another 3 more weeks of higher highs. Yeah, weekly is always like once the weekly gives up, it's not gonna instantly flip right back up. You don't just come down 5 weeks and just rips right back. I mean, unless there was a very strong earning comes up or some sort of a news or whatever, that's fine. Yeah, you can make the case. But the probability is very low for a weekly swing to flip to the upside. It just takes time, week after week after week. And it's just here you have pretty big hope thinking like, okay, it was a low. I'm in. I got the pop. Got a huge pop right there. Everybody turns bullish, thinking like, okay, yes, we're gonna make a higher high now. So the all-time high is 288. Stop right there at 280. Look at the size. I mean, it's a huge bullish candle right there. Okay, look what happens. Flushed it back down because you just don't wanna run Apple to the upside. Well, if the rest of the 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 other
Mm-hmm.
names are all down. So it just, I mean, what Apple is down for 4 days, Amazon down for 2 days, Google is down for one, Microsoft two, Tesla down for 5 days. Sorry, 5 weeks. You see that? Losing streak right there of Tesla right there now. It's puking over a month now. I mean, if you go to daily time frame, it's just you see everything changes. But faster rotation, faster swings, smaller swings, it just very mixed read. This makes everything. When the weekly is down, it's very hard to find the um, daily price action. Just that's a fact. Your that's your main engine is the weekly. So we'll see what happens. I mean, let's see if we get some sort of a news over the weekend or whatever. But I think, I mean, what I think is this, that we're probably gonna still got 7 more days to go. I mean, if we would just go off our fibs, take the peak to trough decline. So our first 23.6 is at 65.94. So call it 6,600. And 38.2 is at 66.70. So our range for the next 7 days, remove all the other ones, is just simply this. But well, I mean, if the low, I don't know if the low is in or not, but let's just assume that low is in. So you're looking at 66, 66.70, and 67, 32. This is where the month will end, somewhere around here. That's what I think. There is a very good chance that we're going to have an inside week next week. I can tell you that. Once you had um, the a week like this, so this week right there, okay, is down for 4 weeks now, which is very rare. S&P to be down 4 straight weeks, just to let you know. It's very oversold. Okay, so but definitely there's going to be some sort of a relief bounce underway. But that relief bounce right there is not going to look at a 14 RSI for me. I mean, the lowest readout was 8.48. So it's gonna, there is one thing I will tell you, okay? S&P goes that deep oversold, it gets a nasty bounce. Not just a bounce, a nasty bounce. Okay. So I did post, um, we could do, let me just clean some of this stuff. So what we can do is I did this one on to find how many weeks we can do pink here. That's four, no. Oh, come on. Find what's here. Here. So this pink arrow right there is shows that we have 4 consecutive lower closes for the week. So it happens here back on March 14th. And they end up having a higher bar. So then it happened here, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Huge reversal. Happened here. That was another week lower, then went up. So there's a bounce coming. Happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the rebound. And this was right there actually went up to 5 because this is where back in 2022. So if you look at the S&P chart where all the pink arrows are, okay, that's 4 down weeks. They're not that many. It's very rare. Okay, we're looking at back 2014. It's a very long time. Okay, I mean, are we gonna do five. Yeah, I don't know about that. Next week we're gonna find out. There's 4 weeks right there. One, two, three, four. Put the exact low back in 2009. Oh, look at the rebound. That's what I'm saying. When you have an S&P goes down this hard, like that RSI went down to 16 that time. Right now, RSI is at 14.91. So there's a pretty good chance that there's gonna be a bounce next week. So the only way we're gonna find out that we're gonna have a bounce, it's what I think is here you're gonna do this with. This was this week high and low. This week high was 67.54 and the low was 64.73. If the next week candle opens and closes somewhere around here, it's gonna be inside week. Okay. Unless it makes a huge move, makes the reversal above 67.54. Yeah, it's possible. Anything is possible. And you have volatility like this, I mean, rebounds are nasty as well. Don't think it's just a one-way street to the downside. If the price doesn't make a new low, we closed at 65.06 yesterday. So we're off what 64.70, 65.06 minus 64.73. That's 33 points. So the window between the close, this. So that's 65.06 minus 64.73. That's just, we're talking 33. Now the thing is this on a cash session. And if you notice yesterday, right at the close, what happened? You see the cues? The cues at the after hours went to 587. Look at the print on cues. It closed yesterday at 582. Q's put a low at 578. Okay. But it closed at 582, which is 4 points off the low. After hours is at 587. It's the same thing happened with the futures as well. Futures made a pretty huge move after hours off the low. But the cash session is because the cash stops at 3 o'clock was when the bell rings, and it has 15 more minutes, right, for the cash session to kind of settles down, and then it officially closes at 3:15, 15 minutes after the bell. So the the Qs and the futures, they already made over a 1% move off the lows yesterday. Because it was all about these OPEC's expiration yesterday for these worthless premiums to expire as many as they can just to burn them down. You know, that's what that was all about yesterday. The indexes closes on already closed on Thursday after the bell because those are the European stuff because and then they settle on Friday at the open, but the ETFs, the SPY and the Qs and the IWM and all they are the ones that are along with the other stocks they're the one that closes um, at the end of the day, so it's kind of weird. I was watching and just like, well, what can I do? I didn't really I don't do anything yesterday. Just not I'm not desperate or dying to pay that kind of a crazy volatility on the IV. We did it on the SPY, okay? About one leap, just the one leap, just to test it out to see. Pay like what, 2,100 bucks for one leap by like a 42, 43 delta trade. The S&P, the SPY popped almost 12 points And we bought and we opened the trade on Friday. Okay. If you remember that the trade that we did. So I opened the trade on Friday, and then let's see. Let's see here. So on Friday, I bought them at 925. For a minute up and down here. So about one leap at 2150. I remember that. So this was probably like 45-ish, kind of like Delta trade. And I closed this one on Tuesday. And if you notice that this trade, I remember it closed down because I bought them on Friday. We got a bit of a dip and it would close down by like $238, give or take. It was like a 2 point dip when I bought it. I was like, oh, that's fine. That's like just this that's a long dated leap anyways. And then the SPY had a move for that 2%. This move. So this. This was Friday right there. You can see the date right there. That's the only bottom, right? So we closed Friday, that leap, okay? And then this was Monday, and this was Tuesday. So you had a 2% move. So I bought them, I think it was around like 66, 63 right there. That's what the price was. I was watching this low right there. So like this is what I bought them right there. So from 663, so you're looking at 674 minus 663. That's an 11 point move. For 11 point move, the trade was up like almost $57. $57. Don't you think that 11 point move with a 45 delta should have been $495? You long 45 deltas on a one contract. A stock goes up at whatever the price goes up 11 points. Okay. So you do 11 times 45 is $495. But on the screen, it's only show $57. So don't jump on on single call leaps because you buying uh, something at a discounted price. You know, it's it's completely pointless. Butterfly is the only way to go. Even if you want to buy a leap or something, not even a spread. I mean, butterfly is a spread, but it has to be a butterfly order. Butterfly can handle a dip because you have those short calls in the middle or the puts in the middle, So it just like yes, we had what the I opened up this next week butterfly. So this butterfly right there did 640, 658, 668, right? This trade is so we took a dip of like what 10, 11 points yesterday, right? And this trade right there is down like $230. $230. And a SPY made a 11 point move lower. You see the point? Butterfly can handle the sell-off. Butterfly is a really good strategy to trade on any market condition, regardless how, but you just have to adjust and make it the right way. Verticals right now is just not the way it's not the way to go. Verticals, no. Single call leaps, no. Butterfly, yes. It's the most ideal strategy right now on any spike of volatility. It's to make butterfly. You can adjust the strike to see how you want to do it. I just left a little bit of room to the upside, but we'll see what happens. A positive theta. We'll see how he opens on Monday and Tuesday. See if we can even stay in a trade for like 3 more days and see if we can just stay above what we paid, 792. So our lower number is 640 plus 792. So 647.92. So 647, we put a low at 644. So we're at, let me see the, so we had, so we do six, our downside, and we try to stay above 647.92. This, okay. And our upside is 668. 68. Doesn't go to 675 because, oh no, sorry, because I did the broken wing butterfly. It has a little bit tilt to the upside. So bottom line is this, okay, upside is capped anyways, is to see if next week SPY can stay above 647.92. Came down yesterday. I was like, okay, well, we got time. We'll see how it closed the day. The point is like, you could take a dip, but the trade really doesn't hurt much. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Because butterfly, you carry a lot more theta to the trade. We're just gonna fight the Vega right now because that's what the volatility is. But those trades, they don't just go down that hard like a regular trade does, especially like the verticals or the single call does. You know, we're gonna be doing a lot of butterflies. Don't worry. I want to just keep rolling one after another after another. So we closed one that we held it for some time. That was a pretty nice payout. This, right, this one, like over 68, 6,840. It was 20. I was long 20. And then this was of a short 20 here on this one. Because this one, I closed this one. The only reason, because from this point right here, down here, the downside, it was capped at like $3,000 for me on this trade. So meaning that all those three strikes that was on that trade, if it was closed in the money because the price is pushing down, so I would have just walked away with 3 grand. That's more than double. Like, why am I freaking take money and run? I'll make another one after that. You know? So I understand that the price can go back up. I get that. I don't know what is gonna happen. It just, I'm looking at Vega is it's much higher than Theta, just completely going flat here now. It's like almost double the number here. And I was like, just gamma is still kind of negative, it's okay. Um very delta just starting to decrease quite a bit because those strikes went, all three of them went in the money. So the price went up to like 656. So if I would have held it one more day as of yesterday, so what, another 10 points would have just paid me another $140, give or take. Is it really worth it to see like, oh, I'm gonna get another $140? Yeah, because Delta is almost going flat because all those all those three strikes are in the money now. So you lose Delta now. So it could increase if the price goes right back up. That's the beauty of the butterfly, that a price is down, you're making money. Price makes its way back up, you're making money because you start gaining delta again. So it fluctuates quite a bit. So you just gotta manage, and it's much more easier to manage as well. I mean, the worst case is if we're gonna take another dip next week, I still have time until like Tuesday. I want to see how the Monday goes, and Tuesday, if let's say if the price dips below the the 647 mark, like if the price goes right back and retest these lows, I'll just open another butterfly down here. I'll just move it down. You can adjust it. A butterfly is easier to adjust. You can just I just gotta have to look it up, see and where the heck is the next support level is, and just try to make it, just move the whole thing down. So that will give us the same range, so this the other side, the call side that took it off was this one. Glad I did. That was got smoked yesterday. I would have held it one more day. That was the call that, to the upside. So that was a pretty good call by closing this one on 119. I I cashed that one. I was like, just what's the point holding? I was like, I'm not looking at that 680. I was like, with OPEX expiration, this and that. And then the sell off yesterday for another like 10, 11 points, that would have just gone down to probably like 15 cents. So I just closed it. So it was good. So then I just said, like, okay, I closed that one. That one, I said, I'm going to just do a very short week just for the next 5 days to see how this one goes. So let's see how this one plays out. This one is going to close that one and I'll roll another one. Just keep rolling butterflies over and over again. They can handle pressure, give us a pretty wide range. And yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of like waiting for a couple of days or so for this, for theta to kicks in and then cash it out and roll another one. So I'm going to be constantly doing this over and over again, one after another. Whatever we
Mo,
whatever we can get, we just get it.
Mo, is there any data? Have you done any research on which is the best day of the week to start a butterfly for the upcoming next week? Is it always a Friday or can it sometimes be a Wednesday or a Thursday?
Monday is you want to do a weekly one? Weeklies are tight.
Didn't you just do a weekly? I mean, for next week?
Well, I did. No, yeah, but I put it on when?
Yesterday.
Not yesterday, the other
Was
day.
it Thursday? Was it Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
So that's what I was asking. Is there a date for the coming week which it works better, like on a Thursday
I
or a
mean,
Wednesday or
if like, okay, so closer you are to the expiration, first of all, like, okay, here's the thing about butterfly. Butterflies are one of the most the let's put it this way, the right way, okay, to trade a butterfly strategy is to go 30 days, okay, out on time, and then try to hold the trade for at least like 17 to 18 days. This one most, not, I don't know how many people trade butterflies. That's the professional way to do it, okay? There's accounts that I manage. That's what I know a lot of time. That's what I end up always doing. 30 days, go out like 1 month. Basically, what it is like you try to structure a butterfly on the first of the month, and then you're just trying to hold that theta collected for the next 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and you just close it. Butterfly gets really dangerous in the last 3, 4 days. Okay, this is when the gamma comes in, and that's what happens. I mean, it's just the rate of change is just, it can instantly change the entire move. Like butterfly can just literally can flip on you. So I mean, the main thing is first we need to know where we are on the price. That's the most important part. You can't sit and just assume strike prices, you know? Like the most difficult part is always about the center, and then you just have to buy the protection, you know? Buy one call here and one call here. It's all about where you want to center this thing, you know? So I usually center because I trade most of the time around the cycle band. You see, we had a throwover here yesterday, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that thing is gonna mean revert. We had a throwover back here for 1, 2 days. We only had one day. Well, actually, 2 days. We actually have two closes now. So yeah, any mean revert from here is gonna go right back toward the mid from here to this. 675 is the mid. So we'll take few days. Same. I mean, it's shifting, but it's not moving that fast. But yes, right from here, you see, it just mean revert right back to the mid band right there. It always does. It always does. It will give another day or two. We'll see. So yeah, it's the only we're definitely losing momentum. That's for sure. There's definitely you see right there that curve. Yeah, this curve right there. Yeah, when the band's trying to shift lower like this, that's the loss of momentum right there. You giving up that upside. So cycle is definitely showing us signs for sure. As you can see right here, see as a rising cycle band. See? That doesn't mean it's not gonna turn back up again. But you see like momentum right there along with the price, how it trails. And now I was starting to see this curve. So I'm watching. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if it can eventually can shape up to the upside from there, but it all depends how everything lines up.
How is the weekly band?
Weekly is okay, right there. We do kind of dip below from the mid. So that was the April right there. Yeah, weekly is fine. I was looking at this cloud. I mean, I don't know much about them. I mean, just never adopt this. I know some traders use these. I know there's one thing that that I know is like if the price is trading above the cloud is bullish, if it's down is bearish. There's nothing bearish here. You know, I understand that we're getting this dip right there, but we're like way above. Like you can actually see that where you see the full cloud color get changed or something. You know, but I don't know these Cajun lines and all the others. I don't need it. I mean, what I have is more than enough. But just to get a view for price over the years, because weekly is everything. You know, I know a lot of people are pretty obsessed with daily charts because if the low is in, if there's more low and 650 is coming and 640 is coming and 6,000 is kind of like everybody is just like throwing numbers left and right, to see like, yeah, I'll be right. It's one of those things. I don't do that. I mean, I focus on these rotations. It's my weekly is the time frame that I adapt when it comes to trading. I don't need any other time frame. All I need is weekly. So
Mo, can we review some bands on the weeklies for IWM and Dow and some of the sectors? Is it okay to review some weekly bands?
uh, can do this. Here's weekly right there. We can do, here's S&P. There's S&P right there. Okay, so weeklies are all good. It's not, we don't, but this absolutely does not show any loss of momentum here. Okay, there's NASDAQ right there. But the only thing is that I know when it comes to swing trading is once you will have a larger swing, okay, meaning that exceeded on time and price compared to the previous one, it's a 100% loss of momentum. Okay. So the bounce that everybody's going to be looking for, the oversold bounce, we'll see how it goes, you know. So I mean, we just take the take the peak to trough, simply draw your fibs. We this That's what we're all going to be watching. I mean, how the bounce will progress week after week. That's the thing. This was a pattern that, remember, we were looking for those three triple doji. Yes, he ended up pushing lower. Yeah, that was those 3 weeks of those dojis that we've been tracking. Not any setup yet, ruler, because of the roughness here on this. Um, the weekly swings are all down here, as you can see, except for semis. Semis, the only one is positive as well, 6.83%. It's all down. It's gonna, once it's down, meaning what? Now we need 3 weeks of higher highs. So we're down 4. So that's what I said. Is like, I gotta be wrong, but I think so. What we gonna do from here now is we gotta take our fibs from this swing low to this swing high, 65.98, 66.75, and 67.37. So if anywhere we closed here, okay, well, we'll end the week with the inside week. That would only consider as bar number 1. Then we need another 2 more weeks of higher highs for the swing to flip again. But it can happen. Okay, it happens here, as you can see. 1, 2, 3. See, the line came down 3 weeks, 5.8 back in November. And then 1, 2, 3. Flip back up. So you're 3 down, 3 up. This is what you call a full V-shaped reversal of 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 the high and low. So anything can happen. So if we need 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, then the line will go back up again. Right now the line is down. The line will only shift once you will have 3 bars in one direction. So Russell is same thing. Nothing is gonna go up. I mean, you had the overall NASDAQ and the Trump was talking about 50,000, not down to 45,000. Almost $5,000 drop right there. You see? It's a NASDAQ 100. ETX, I track OEX that tracks the 100 stocks. Semis are good. Semis are holding pretty tight. You see right there? Look what semis did. That's the high, right? One lower bar, second lower bar. Look what happened third this week. Semi stayed inside. So he didn't make a new high, didn't make a new low either. You see what I was talking about? Third week. Okay? It's called defensive week. It's gonna fight like hell not to give up three that easily. See how it held? It's just gonna keep the swing up. It's
So
looking for.
what's holding the semi sectors? Nvidia is down.
There's some names in semis, I believe.
AVGO is down.
Semis and let me see where that is right there. So in semis on a weekly, arm looks good. Some of them they're rolling over. I think semis weakness is gonna Micron is the one. I think it's doing all the work. So I see a lot of these semis right there that actually Qualcomm is the ASML. This one just turned blue. Oops, Lam Research. It's pretty sideways. There's a huge upside, so that's why it's not gonna give up that much. So Lam Research is okay. Nexus is the one is turning after this dip. Got a little crossover here. Yeah, Micron I think is the one. Yeah, doing all the work. I made a new 52 weeks high. That's a three-wave correction right there. It's a pretty clean count. This is some sort of a fifth wave. Wave one, two, three, four, five. So yeah, one smaller wave. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five. This is some. Yeah, this is a fifth wave to the upside. Yeah, rotation is the strongest start right now. So the micron, 48%. Yeah, it's the strongest one. Applied AMT is 38, Lam 33. Yeah, this is what is holding the semis. Even the fact that Nvidia is down 7%, which is of course the poster child. But look how many names there. ARM is 21. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see, only like 10 names. They're the ones that holding the semis. So that's what I was. That's why the end up going inside. SPY is down as we know that. Use down, all that. IWM down. XOK. Financials ended up with the doji right at the bottom of the cycle now. So it got this. This is one of my mean reversion signal. It's one of a kind. It's basically it it picks pretty precise bottoms, and it's a very rare when that happens. That doesn't mean that this is there's a lot of time that end up marking a low. Um, they just it doesn't come. It takes years for this thing to come. The last one was back here, back in 2022. Now we just got it again. Even the fact that it has these dips back here, but they didn't trigger that time either. So it triggered this week. So I'm going to be watching financial. Um, the next week for sure, because a lot of buy signal on a daily time frame on financials. So, which is right there. There's some names has a lot of buy signals. Like GS, this one I see, this one has it. There's several names I was looking at. JP Morgan Chase has it. Yeah, there's a lot of financials. Bank of New York right there has a buy signal as well. These are all the daily ones, not the weekly. Um, Charles Schwab has a buy signal as well. Yeah, there's tons of financial names right now has the buy signal on the daily time frame, not on a weekly though. So it's due for some financials are due for some sort of a relief bounce to end the month. That's how I see it. Put on the stock here. BlackRock has one right there. They all, every one of them pretty much have it right now. What do we have? CD has one. Bank of America. Not this one does not have it yet. So, this is tough one to trade. It doesn't really mind that much. The real alpha trade is this one, Goldman Sachs. A little pricey for the $800 stock. Yeah, there's a lot of financials have daily. So this one was gonna be. I'm gonna be watching. It's ended at week with a doji. So right at the bottom of the cycles, which is almost at that 50 level. Mid is a 52. So down 10 weeks, 14.1%. I think is just draw from here to here. That 50, 50, 51, 52. If it holds. XLY right at the bottom of the cycle now. The last one. These blue ones now they're gonna populate everywhere on the because I put them on a chart. The last one triggered here. See in the financials it did not. This one did not. You see the rally right there? This thing is this is a mean reversion lift off. So right there, see? This is one of the consumer staples. Look at that. It's a very unique energy. Jeez. Back here in 2025 in April when it triggered. Yeah, it picks very precise bottoms. Let's put it this way. And it doesn't appears that often. It takes years when it shows up. You gotta pay attention to it. Material had back here. So some did back in November, but utilities back here. Nothing on real estate except back here, 2022. That was when we had that bear market. Nothing on XLC. That's the communication. Look at that. Yeah, communication is good. Meta is freaking cheap stock. 593 price. I don't know. I'm really thinking about buying a. I'll do the same thing, like butterfly, but make like go out further on time. Just not spreads. Spreads are brutal right now. Um, Let's make a butterfly tilt it more, have more tilt to the upside.
When you
Dollar.
say go out more on time, you're talking like July, August time
So
or
6 months,
April?
6, 7, 8 months. Who cares?
Or fly. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, or you can just adjust it this way that you just literally have zero the theta, meaning that you just it's not gonna cost you any time. You know, I can make butterflies like this, or keep you literally flat delta, the flat theta. So you have more delta, flat theta, meaning that if the stock does come down, so it will only reflect based on what the delta that you're holding. It's not gonna hurt you with time though, because spreads right now, and it's not gonna hurt you much with Vega is gonna be there for now, but when you're gonna go out that further out, you're not gonna have that much to deal with. So it's just then if when volatility cools off and stuff, then you can always or bounce right back to regular verticals. Um, gold is gold had a pretty rough week, had a very rough week. Swing is down now on gold as well. 21. I mean, that's crazy. Just the way I don't know if this low holds 4,400. And gold is just that run the gold had. This one is just it might just cool off a little bit. If this low holds could be some sort of a triangle. It's too early to say, but silver had a rough week as well. Bitcoin, I mean, it's trading now. Just Bitcoin ended the week with a doji as well. So it looks like a diagonal to me, though. To be honest, I'm gonna be really interested um, buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin weekly swing is up. Keep that thing in mind. So the weakness that any 1,000, 15, $2,000 dip that Bitcoin is gonna get, it's gonna get bought. Remember the rule. You once the three turns up, doesn't instantly goes down. Okay. So this is a I know is gonna be looking for a lot of people is gonna be looking as a bear flag. Okay. But it's actually think is trying to put a bottom in, to be honest, if you ask me. It's the same thing here that people were looking for. This is called bear flag. So a lot of people right now are going to be calling this another bear flag. Yeah, if the price dip like this, of course, it is a bear. It was end up being a bear flag, but that's not the case. The bullish case that we're trying to make is we need 8 swings. 8 swings from this low. Okay. Once you have 8 swings, that confirms the low right there. Right now we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So call it A, or you can call it 1. This move right there is what I'm looking for. Like this. So that will make 6, 7, 8. That 8 swings right there, that confirms this low. That's the zone right there you want to buy for this move. think it's coming. So what will be the upside targets? Let's do this. Because I'm gonna buy a future contract. So let me see. I gotta do because the scale and optimize. I gotta have to change decimal points. There you go. So what are we gonna do? So we have first swing here. See, that's it, just backs off from that 38.2. So we're gonna take this swing low and this swing high to low. This is our upside zones. So this is exactly where we just backed off. That's what first zone, right there. So you just backed off from there. Second zone is this one. Bitcoin is the one that this sucker is gonna hit almost to the penny, but you gotta know where to run the fibs. Bitcoin works really good with fibs, really good, but not too many people know that. Takes out zones after zones. I can tell you that. And Bitcoin is once it takes off, that's it. Then it's not gonna back off. Here's your three zones to the upside. It all depends, like how it accelerates. So I'm gonna definitely um, looking to go long Bitcoin for sure, especially on a go in April. Bitcoin futures is BTC is what you gotta do. I'll show you here. The,
It's MBT. MBT.
oh yeah, you want to do the MBT. You want to do this micro. That's the daily one. Sucker got a sell signal here than me. That's the zone right there. Okay. So because we don't have weekly signal yet, but it's gonna come. I think it's coming. Um, Once we'll have a weekly buy signal here, I'm gonna go long toward this area right there. So I have these fibs drawn right there. So that's the zone that I was watching. I've been watching. Because we have five up, as I just said, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just need a see how price comes backs off here. So right in this 66, 68, 70, this 5,000 point zone, plus it building this green box right there. That's a demand zone. So yeah, Bitcoin I think is gonna go in April. I have a very good feeling about it. Plus you have a cycle starting as well. Remember the cycle starts on here, back here. I don't have the thing there. Yeah, April in the next 7, 8 days. So this is just Yeah, Bitcoin is due for a big pop. But we need a little more confirmation. Let me see. So if we go back the monthly, you see, it's ending the month with an inside month, right? So it's not really moving much. Just inside months are just the worst bar to trade on any time frame. Okay, inside day, inside week, inside month. It's just the worst one. Feel the trade to be in because it's not making a high, it's not making a low. It's just like literally sitting between a range. The range is this 79 and 60. So that's what 60, 70, 60, 70, it's almost what 19,000, right? 60, 70, 79, yeah, 19,000. So right now it just stayed right in between. But it's sitting right there at the bottom of the cycle here anyways. So any move higher from Bitcoin is going to be toward this 89-ish kind of 90,000 mark, which is near the 78.6 right there. That's your key right there. That's going to be a nice move. If just going to be a little patient. Um, the do this that will take us right to the mid band. Yeah, it's gonna take again. This is monthly, so it's gonna take time. But in order to go toward a monthly, you gotta make sure that we need this to work. Weekly will help the monthly. So it's close. So I'm gonna see what happens on um, Monday. Nothing really. I mean, it's been range bound, you see, but it's still up like 6.66% for the month. And I mean, quarterly, yeah, quarter's coming to an end. Year is still down 20%. It may even end up going back up to break even. That's almost more than 20% upside. Not bad. This area right there is, I would, this. That's the move. That's the bet that I'm willing to make. Price to climb back toward here. But the first resistance is this. Like always pay attention to the previous swing low. You see right there? Right there. That's the pivot. You see you had the first initial decline, and then the price made a move all the way back up, made a higher high, right? Then the price rolled over. So you took out this low. Then it found we end up putting a new low here. You see now the price trying to come back here. You see it's testing this zone. It will, because that's the broken pivot. Every time when you have a broken pivot, price bounces up, it's gonna hit the wall right there several times. So how do you get the confirmation? The confirmation comes when you have a candle that opened and closed above the pivot bar, the pivot area right there. That's if you have something like a full body open close for the candle to be open and close above the pivot low right there. There's a pretty good chance that this low is in. But that doesn't instantly happens. You see, 1, 2, 3. You have 3 weeks of rejection so far. You see, you got a huge pop right there on these wicks. You see so many wick here. It's testing the zone because it was broken here. You see, with the big flush. Then second week, third week, fourth week. So 4 weeks is 1 month, right? So it's already spent 1 month to the downside. And then from here, 1, 2, 3. So from last 3 weeks, it's it's poking right here to this level, this 74,605. Tested here, backs off, tested here, backs off, tested here this week, backs off again. But it's the same time it's trying to form some sort of a bottom here to see, and then something comes in here. Yeah, then we have a, let's see, this this area right there. That's the bet that I'm willing to make. From here to here. So we'll see what happens. Ethereum don't have the 5 swing yet. Ethereum has only 3. This doesn't really go by with the Bitcoin, but the weekly swing is up. So does the Bitcoin and the Nvidia. Yeah, I wouldn't bet against Bitcoin, to be honest. I think Bitcoin is a good with this. It's April for if we would position Bitcoin. See, it has 5 because this one tracks the Bitcoin. I know. See, it has the same 5 swing. I would. I'm gonna do the future for sure. I'm gonna do a spread on this one. So I would target. We'll do the same thing here. And from here to here. So that's our zone. So we could do, we have the first zone, second zone, right there. I would just leave it there for now because we had this band here. So we were at what? 39, 40, 47, 89, 40, 45. I mean, I don't know what kind of, you have to see what time you have to look at the option chain. We could do either 40, 45 spread, or it's gonna be, well, if you're gonna do the butterfly, then you're gonna have to put a lot more contracts because it's very cheap, the price. So butterfly, I would just do 40, 45. Don't want to do 50 because it's going to be 5, 5, 5. It's going to be a balanced butterfly. So you could just do 45, 46, let's say 47. So you can just tilt it more. So you're basically going to bring more delta. It's not going to give you much theta either, because broken wings are, once you bring in more delta, it is going to cut down your theta. So man, if you do 40, 45, and 50, it's not gonna give you that much because it's just a balanced butterfly. You're trying to make a move higher. You're not making something in the money. So a spread would, I have to look at the chain, then I'll decide to see. Yeah, spread would be 40, 45, 5-point wide spread. Just to, if spread can goes up to 47, I mean, should still make quite a bit of money. So that would be the spread. But then it's just a matter of adding a third leg makes sense or not. So that's the bet that I would make. I mean, if it rips, I'm good. I mean, we'll be in a much better shape if that happens. So we'll see. I'll take a look at the chain to see how it looks like. Apple is fine. You see, like we don't. I understand that that we had that dip right there for the on so many stocks, but we don't have that. Might have a little bit of a curve. This pig right there is something to watch. You know, so it's getting pretty tight. This price action here. You know, it's getting really tight now. See, 8% up, 9.9, 8.2, 8% here, you see? Too many eights. Yeah, this thing is getting tight for some sort of a squeeze back up. You know, too many measured moves and the same 1 day up, 2 days down, sorry, 2 weeks, 1 week up, 2 weeks down, 1 week up, 2 weeks down. You see, it's like a repeating pattern with the same time and price. Yeah, it's just getting pretty tight here. Tesla took a lower. Tesla, he's down. He bought somebody post was that I looked at it yesterday. Remember he bought how many billions of contract? Sorry, the when he opened up a position on Tesla. I think he's in 389 kind of number or whatever that he bought like billions worth of shares. Yeah, he's taking a hit as well on the last shares that shares that he bought. See, Amazon is sideways. See, so Google is good. That's very good. Yeah, there's a bit of a little, yes, not as that crazy, but what I'm saying is just this price action just looks too corrective. You know, it's too much overlap. These are trends. This you see how direction that look just to look at. Forget about the lines and everything else. Just if you just look at the the direction, you see like this is a straight decline. Then you had a full reversal back up, right? Fine, to get that. Like look, like here, this is what I see most of the time is like you see so much overlap. You up 22, then you come down. I mean, this coming down right there. I gotta have to do here. See, up 22, down 15, up 24. This is what you call a range bound. You know, too many ranges. Not something like this. You see, 55%. It's more directional. I think I have this Tesla. I'm watching this. So I'm gonna watch at this. So I'm gonna watch Monday and see it's coming to this 61.8% retracement, 2 versus 1, and near this 61.8 on time and price, almost there. So we're gonna watch around like noon time on Monday. Okay, the 23rd is on Monday. So we'll see what kind of reaction do we get around noon time on Monday. See if we can. I mean, 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 6, 1.8. And somebody's gonna try to tell me that the crude oil is gonna break 261.8. Okay, I'll make a bet with somebody. Okay, somebody can prove me wrong. That if the price is gonna rip through that, you know, this I want to see that. How you gonna how crude managed to break 122? It's not gonna break. It's crude. This is exhaustion point for any price to reach this level. There's gonna be a setback. It's the same thing. I don't have the yeah. I'm so behind on this wave. Oops, the wave comes. I don't do much. Only when I'm in a mood. You see right there. There you go. It's the previous um the bear market that we have. That's QQQ on a monthly time frame. 1, 2, you see? 261.8, 366. It managed to get to 408 on a bear market 2022. That's you reach that point to the top right there. See? Wave 3 is gonna either reach that point or it's gonna come close to it, and then you're gonna I mean technically according to the Elliott wave, that extension considers a 3 versus 1 anyways. That's when the fourth wave comes into play. And then that fourth wave, if it behaves and if it stays in within the same ranges as as 4, it can chew more time is okay, but you don't want to get too extended. I'll have a pretty good idea next month because the next month is this what is going to give me the answer. This. Because I know what happened here. Yeah, it's going to be after the first quarter, next quarter. If it stays inside next month, we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be, but you take out another low right there. Yeah, it's gonna be a look like we can show you a few of these. Netflix. You see, it's monthly. Once the monthly swing is down, it's meaning that now Netflix had 1 month of a higher, but it still needs 2 more months of higher highs to flip this thing up. Meta is down as well. See? So Meta put a low here. Meta had a higher bar, outside bar, inside bar. You know, see, it's not getting that 3 months of the sequence. Google only had one so far. That's a doji month right there for Google. Google is strong, very strong. Amazon is having a doji month as well, inside month, right? Tesla is down. Tesla has 7 days to save this swing, just to let you know. So we're gonna be super neutral going into freaking Tesla. See, the last time right there was down for 4 months. Then make this way up. You see, 1, 2, 3. That 3 lows. Not what Tesla need in the next 7 days is to make a move back to 436 somehow. If that happens, meaning that this bar right there will turn blue, then it's going to be good. So can Tesla make an 18.64% move in the next 7 days? Anything possible. It's a crazy stock. Anything is possible. It needs some sort of a news to come out to save the monthly swing. Right there. The monthly swing is down. I mean, then they will need 3 months, meaning that 1 full quarter of a higher highs. See right there, low here. 1 month, second month, inside, then went up. You see, month after month. I mean, yeah, you go to a smaller time frame, yeah, you're gonna get the smaller ranges back and forth, back and forth. But your bigger picture is it defines everything. Microsoft down. See? Microsoft taking a crazy beating. 1, 2, 3. Inside week, inside month here. 31.6. 8 months. Microsoft is fighting the 78.6 right there. See? We're getting close down there, but we'll see. This 389 is the key right there. Getting several bounces on a smaller time frame from here. Because from here is looking at this to the downside. Now if the market recovers, can you make a move back to 425? That's the upside bet right there. Apple is fine. Nvidia is fine. Nvidia just garbage price action on Nvidia. Nvidia the same thing. Double top. Double bottom. What do you see here? The same as Q's. Double top, double bottom. Tesla is going to be interesting to watch for the next 7 days. See, from here it was, yeah, monthly swing turns down. I wouldn't be surprised Tesla will see another 50% dip. It's just gonna be a sequence. You see right there, over and over again. It's the worst stock to hold, man. Trading point of view, yeah, if you catch a move, yes, it's good. But by owning a stock, it is the worst painful stock to have it on a portfolio. Yeah, it can rally for a week, week and a half too, when it runs, but then just eventually reach to a certain point, it cools off. But if you really look at the actual growth, there is none. The stock has no growth. I think the stock is. I have to look at the data. If we close lower this month, that will come was already showing down because I already took out this low of last month. If this confirms in the next 7 days, I would not be surprised to see another 50% dip on this one. So that would put is this at, if we measure right there, around like 250, give or take. Here. So let's see how much. Let's run some fibs. Just want to see. We take this swing high, this swing low. Where would the price came down? 78.6, right? Let's do this. So we have 78.6 right there. Then we take this swing to this low. Price came down where? 78.6. See? This. Then you take this swing high, because these are all higher highs, and this is all higher lows. 275. That would be the next major move to the downside. This. So this way, what you're looking at here, because you have to understand one thing. That was the low when he bought the Twitter. First initial swing high and low. Correct? First dip down here, 78.6. Right? That's the higher low. Price pushed higher, made a higher high. Right? So that's the low. This is the high. That's the first initial swing, high and low. Higher low. Broke above 299, 488, higher high. Came back again to 78.6, higher low. Went right back up, higher high. So what are we looking at again? Another higher low. So if that's the sequence, it's been happening here for two in a row, goes right back to 275 again. Then from here, you look for a move back to, again, higher high. So what does that tell you on the overall picture from 101? Even the fact that the price is making higher highs and higher lows on a higher time frame, the stock, this is a bullish pattern. Bullish run is always higher highs, higher lows. For bearish, is lower high and lower lows. Right? This right there is a diagonal on a larger time frame. I have that thing here. I think I believe. I think I did. No, I think I'm rid of it. I'm not doing any LE, just some old work sitting. Yeah, this right there is what I was trying to. I can just do it here manually. That's the 101 right there. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this. So you can just like this. See? This is a clear diagonal. See, 78.6, 78.6. Now he's probably looking for another 78.6 to then make a last initial push to the downside, upside. And then from here, once it's complete, it makes a full reset back. The diagonals only forms in a fifth wave. You don't have this 53, 50, you see, it's just, yeah, 252 is greater than 194, great. But this 132 is not. It's shorter than 252 range. Even the fact that time went to straight 8 months, 8 months, 6 months, 8 months makes sense, right? It makes sense because you exceeded on price and time. Not here. You you were up 8 months. You took a setback of 4, but end up going up at 8. So that's 8, 8. You're supposed to exceed more on time and price, but you did not. Basically just made it on a time, but you fell short on price. Now we're down 3 months, 26, which is half. So we're sitting at near the 50 at 356. So unless if it reverses and makes more, well, that's the difference. I don't know how you're gonna, what's so great about this company that we need to be excited about that. I know he's trying to merge SpaceX, but if that happens, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is one, this is a stock that's when everybody turns bullish, it's just when it goes against you. And then at the same time, this is a stock when everyone will be bearish, the stock is going to just do the full rug pull. It's going to squeeze those shorts. It's just wild range, it's not trading like this, you know, 39, 288%, 22%, 70%. Like these are like just look at the move and now compare this. You can tell there's a big difference. This is called lack of momentum right there. See NVIDIA here, see? Continuation to the upside. I mean, longer term, when you look at the chart, you can kind of see like, hey, you know what? Yeah, it looks a very healthy trend. over the weeks, over the months, right? Because it's more directional. So it just has sharper, the move to the upside. I mean, it's just like that's the dollar right there, like this. Like people like to do their technicals all the time and this and that, but do you ever pay attention to a blank chart? What it like, how well like, does it really shows you like, hey, you know what? If I do consider buying something, is it really makes sense that I should consider this? I mean, higher the time frame is, better the read is. Like just to look at a blank chart. I do it all the time. Just pull any ticker here. Let's just Goldman Sachs, a random stock. Just look at a blank chart. What do you see here? Just looking at just a blank chart. Yeah, there's some highs and lows, there's dips and this and that. What do you actually see? What the actually price is actually doing? Applying tools and indicators and all the other things, that's all beside the point. It's one simple chart, I mean, tells you everything. I mean, you're not saying that, yeah, I mean, it's just when you go to this kind of a when you zoom out that far back, yeah, you see massive consolidation here. You got a rise here, right, off this low. It went literally sideways for years, years and years. That spent almost from 2014 all the way down to 19. If you look at this price action here, is brutal. Well, the longer the base is, bigger the breakout. You always remember that. Okay, just that's the number one thing you just have to remember. Longer the base is, okay, massive the breakout is going to be. So this energy that exploded this week, this year so far, look at the base from here. That's 3 years of sideways price action. 3 years. That's why energy exploded. Or plus, then this war happened. It just gives another reason for energy to make a move. What the silver was doing. Kind of dip here, but yeah. Massive consolidation here sideways. Gonna move. There's some crazy moves in the like when you look at the some of the chart if I these are the ones that I'm trying to remember. No, this is the three-way dip to the downside. Just like basically when you just go chart by chart to see like where is the chart that you see it has a huge base, up in here. Just thinking of random stocks. Yeah, I wouldn't. See this QQQ, they just I don't know how long that thing is gonna go, but we're gonna find out. Double top, double bottom. Do we have another dip? A little bit more to go. We'll find out. Now, let's do this. We had a double top here, right? And then look at this move, which was this the tariffs. So on a tariff, it was a hang on. You did already? Okay. So then you see like from this double top, then we took this April dip, 7 weeks, 25.6. Double top, 7 weeks, 9.1, right? Now, what is the difference that you see? So now you could compare two things here. Double tops, both sides, correct? And the time, 7 weeks, 7 weeks. But the one was 25.6, the other is only 9.1, right? Even the fact that the volatility got a spike here as well. This is the point that I was trying to make earlier, is the volatility is not making higher highs. This decline was much sharper, right? That went pretty steep for the same time frame, right? 7 weeks drawdown, 7 weeks drawdown here as well. That's less than half, not even half of this. So I'm like, I understand, like, when everybody look at their portfolio, which is melting, there's not a good feeling in the world. I get that. Everybody knows that. I mean, we're not the only one. 401ks are tanking, and college saving funds are coming down, and pension funds are coming down, and portfolio, like everything is melting across the board. Like this week was the perfect picture of when you start to look at market is tanking, gold is tanking, Bitcoin is kind of flat because it had like an inside week, right? Managed to survive, right? Silver took in a hit. Gold is, sorry, the oil just sideways in a 5 point range, ended the week with the inside week as well. But it's just keeping that pressure on the market, right? Because then the OPEX, then the option expiration. And there's not really major news breaking out about the war anyways. It's like market acted this week is just like the war just started this week. Even the fact the war has been going on for over 3 weeks now. But market responding after the third week. A lot of damage has been done. Like infrastructure damage, like a lot, both sides. Well, no, I mean, they're not gonna, they don't show much because it's all censored. Nobody's gonna admit anything. Just the way it is. The point here is like the acceleration here was on a much faster pace compared to this. Here, because the last 3 weeks, all we spend is we put dojis. 3 of them in a row. So if you look at 4 months, sorry, the 4 week time window, that just makes like this is 1 month of price action here. Let's just draw 30 days right there. So in the last 30 days, sorry, in the last 30 days, so 3 weeks that went in with a pure doji, right? Pop, fade every time. And this is the week that here we got the flush back to 580. Close at what 582. After hours 587. So there was definitely some news. The it was actually I was reading that the what's this guy's what's the guy who posts stuff all the time? Here the busy letter or something. This. I looked at it this morning, it popped up. Let me see. This one. You see? Look at this. What happened here yesterday? NASDAQ 100 ETF QQQ surged 1.1% between 3:40 and 5 o'clock without any major news. Option flows and Q's long calls were surging into a 4 p.m. market close. President Trump said that he's considering winding down the Iran war. Look at this. This was the low that was made yesterday at 578.54. And then it closed at 582 right there. That was the close at the bell. And look at the move back. It is where it closed. So the Q is now up at 2% off the lows. With March 23rd dated call set to open 200% above the today low. See? That's crazy. No news, not basically based off what? Based off this. This is a setup. He's doing the same exact thing what he did in April. Just buy low again. It's just another round too. He kept saying that it will be you know, what he's trying to do. I mean, I don't want to make any political statement. This he's trying to pressure Europe now to go there. You depending on that oil, okay? Because you don't want to help me. Go there on your own. Free up all those ships, so you will survive because I don't need oil. That's what he's literally showing a middle finger to the entire Europe right now. I have Venezuela free oil coming in. I already got that. I don't need it. I need you. That's what he's dragging them into it. He just wanted to step aside. You see? He's watching. He knows higher oil prices is gonna be a spike in inflation for sure. It's gonna hurt every sector across the board. He knows that. But he's trying to see one comment right there. Look at that. The bottom line right now for this market to, or the goal to be around like 9,500, he just has to say, everybody's saying the same thing. He just has to taco himself. That's it, like he always does. The day he's gonna say like, hey, I taco this thing out, boom, that's it. Here goes the reversal. It's gonna be a crazy reversal. 100% is a market manipulation. There's nothing to see. Look at that. It's just, and look at the timing for the whole thing. No, Kim, nobody does that except for him. This dude opened his mouth and waxed trillions of dollars off the market cap just by saying something. Just the way it is. We have almost 3 more years to deal with this. Just there's nothing we can do. Just put up with that. But I'm confident about one thing. He's not gonna let the market tank too much. This is the thing. He's gonna do whatever it has to do, right? It's gonna it's gonna lift the market up. Keep in mind, this is at least last term, S&P was up almost 62% in 4 years. He has a pretty badass record from his first term when he left the office. So he's going second time. Is he gonna outperform the first run number? Think about it. These are the things you're gonna have to think next 3 years. We're gonna be here. I know he's not gonna be there in the office after 3 years, but we will be here trading. I'm not going anywhere. But we'll see what's gonna happen. You know, this is the cycle. Just to me, 'cause I was looking at a bunch of things. I always do. That's when I'm quiet, that I'm not really putting too much comments and this, and I'm just paying attention to a lot of things. Okay, it's not like I'm falling asleep or something, this and that, but sometimes I do take a nap. But other than that, I'm just like looking at stuff like across. Just I understand market is under pressure, this and this. Yeah, portfolio down. Okay, good. What can we do? Um, but just to look to see, like when you see stuff like this, it's just like, come on. So we'll see what happens on over Sunday. It's only closed at 587. So this is basically, if we go back here. What was the high here? 605. 578.54 was the low. So we just do the same draw fib from here to here. So 587 is basically here. So 592. So 592 would be the number for the first fib that we'll watch for Monday, if everything lines up right. If some news broke out or whatever, we're back to the lovely 600 number. This has been circling around there for such a long time anyways. Oops. Yeah, look at this. 595, 600, 610, 607, 594, 596, 593, 600, 590. You see? It's just this 10-point range for like months. Months and months. It's been circling around there in this 10-point range. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This crude is not making a higher high. Okay, VIX is not making a higher high. All the fear is coming out from there. It's the sell-off reason is the war. The war, which is not just started recently this week, it's been going on for over 3 weeks now. That's one thing. Second thing is this about those two things that I just mentioned, right? And third is this the OPEX expiration. Okay, so this sell-off right there is the OPEC expiration. That's the only way I see it because the other asset class doesn't match. Your initial response when market really actually sells off is when stuff happen like just like when 9/11 happened, right? You see how market took a dip? Like these kind of events happens is just like, a shock in oil prices in the Iraq and all that kind of stuff. Like, these kind of a things like you see the instant reaction, but oil did have that overnight spike when the 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 when they're starting to hit each other like from here, this move. But now if you look at this side, that was the pop and fade. This is like here, technically if you want to draw, this is the whole war price action so far, not this. Just draw just draw 4 weeks. So in a 4 weeks, what the tech is doing as soon as the war broke, it's just this is what you see right here. I'm not arguing like there is no weakness here. There is, right? There is weakness for sure, but we don't have nothing close, okay, as this. Even the fact that we're 7-7, we don't have nothing like this to here. So the people who are like comparing like, oh, this is repeating a same pattern, and no, it just doesn't have the nature like that. Market is holding really, really good. It's just the Q1 is just gonna close lower. That's all. And the reason I told you, mentioned this thing before as well, right? The quarterly, where is this year? Here. So these are the yearly candles, right? So the yearly candles are this. Look, S&P made a new high. That was the last year high. Qs did not. Okay. Still an inside bar. Russell did. Right. See, last year high was 258. This year's 271. And Dow did. So somebody's gonna. I wanted to explain one thing, or somebody gonna try to explain me one thing. So you have three of these has made a new high, except for this. How you think that's gonna work? So this is where the rotation was. Okay. This is when the value and this side right there got a lift in the early year is when the rotation that we just tracked earlier, right? this. Because after Christmas, actually the first day of January, tech was already losing momentum here anyways, starting the year. That's why you're not gonna make highs when you're losing momentum here. So how many sectors they already have a new high for the year? Let's take a look here for a second. We go back to this. So here, so we go back to, okay, so we go one by one. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Tech did not, right? 153, this year 149. Financial did. Consumer discretionary did. Staples did. A freaking staples. Okay. Energy did, of course. Healthcare did. Industrial did. Material did. Utilities did. Real estate did. The most dead sector. Communication did. So you telling me the XLK is not going to make a new high this year, but the 10 sectors did. So what does that tell you? Market will never see, will get expansion without tech. Just write that thing down on a piece of paper. No expansion in the market without tech. No other sector is going to rally the market on the S&P too far without tech. This is the rotation. It's not this or that on top of it they're throwing this news to it. It's just to add more fuel to the fire. This is why I always try to show you, give you the explanations and stuff. You have to watch really careful and read this thing really good when I post them. This is everything. You pay attention to this. Forget about price on the charts and stuff. That all gonna get sorted out over time. That's not the point. This comes first. It tells you right there exactly what's going on. I know I cannot I try to give you an explanation, but the point is your job is to read that contact when I post that rotation. So these are the things that I look for. It's just like, okay. So out of everything else, right? But you're gonna hold the QQQ, XLK, and the NDX. You know, it's pretty, it's crazy. It's just you think that the this rotation right there is trying, as you can see, but just not there yet. It will be, but it's gonna take a few weeks. So instead of us forcing trades now, okay, what just we'll manage, but I will just hang on to the cash. Okay, it's this improves, the scanner is gonna light up. I know that thing for a fact. That the lousy 15 names that you just looking at right now, for the last couple of weeks is at 15 out of 500. That thing is going to light up to 60, 70 plus. And I'm going to show you that time as well. Then you will know that. Then you will see, like, you know what? Yeah, it is worth waiting. You know, that's the time that you wanna that we're gonna go in. I'm gonna buy heavy. Don't worry, I got plenty of cash. I haven't bought anything. I hardly bought anything this year. I mean, I'm just messing around with these trades and stuff, swing trades. But that's other than that, I haven't bought anything. We have not bought any big names yet, but we will. Because I know this thing for a fact that this is not going this way anyways. This is gonna make its way up. And the question is, how long is it gonna take? Goes like this. Does it go like this? We don't know. Or does it go like this? We just don't know the turn. And the institutional money will come in. We're gonna be the first one to know. I can tell you that because they're watching the same thing. I want to pick something here on this side on the communication. I'm gonna work on some of these names to see if there's anything. Um, Nothing's showing up. That's just on a scanner. Just like looking at some of these. T-Mobile is the only one. But yeah, some Live Nation Meta is here. Match, Netflix, Charter, Verizon is there. Verizon is the leading the board. Strongest stock. Lumen Technology, Fox. This is just kind of bit of a mixed bag. Nothing really. Fucking Disney, Live Nation, Charter, Netflix. Netflix dip makes sense. Meta is the weakness. Is this is the one I would definitely consider looking at this. I mean, the last week April low to this to this. Meta is it's gonna move for it. Meta moves a good. I mean, if you look at year by year, Meta moves quite a bit every year. So yeah, this stock is cheap for real. I don't know if this is a three-way move. Three, some sort of another three. Let's do this. We do this. Let's see when we built the zone. That was 600. Take a 580, 600. This. Extension. I'm just looking at this. I want to buy this. Ooh, okay. That's gonna be a sticky zone. Fib is an art, but you gotta just know where to run it. It's just extensions. Seven, 3, 6, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 4, 2, 10, and 10. There you go. This. Is 652. Okay. This is the area right there. Yes. Yeah. Nothing here. Okay. We'll watch this one. So we have, when do we have? Oh, so this quarter is coming to an end. So what, next month we're gonna have earnings again? Oh, jeez. Yeah, the first quarter is gonna end in 7 days. So in April we're gonna have earnings again. Interesting. We still, I mean, it doesn't look like the earnings are just gonna. Man, this time is flying. Man, it's just crazy. Feel like we just done with these earnings. Yeah, FedEx just reported as well.
Mo, when I look at the longer term meta chart, and I go back to like 2024 and 2025 on a weekly, do you see something close to 566? Because that's where it broke out and then found support, except for a dip down during the tariff disaster. But 560s seems to be very strong support.
Yeah, this anything in this. Well, I have them down to this 5 kind of 75 area. So yeah, another 5, 6, 7 point doesn't make a big difference.
Yeah, I'm looking left on your chart where those two red arrows start off. You know, here, yeah, around this time, it was facing resistance, like almost like a triple top happened there, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then it broke out. And the only time it dipped below was when the tariff disaster happened.
Yeah, the April law.
So could that be kind of like our stop or something, like where we are, wherever
No,
those red arrows were? Yeah. And
you gotta have to look at this way.
mm,
April lows
mhm.
of last year is the 52 weeks low for every stock. Okay, that was the last year low. So every time when you look at a stock this year has broke below the, not the indexes are different, stocks that broke below April low, okay, meaning that those stocks have has already has a lower yearly bar now. Okay, and I'll show you which ones are those, and then we're gonna be, you're gonna not like this in November. Indexes are different. It's not like stocks. So we're gonna do is we're gonna do, where the heck is my lower bar scan? Here. So we're gonna run them on, let's do 100. This. There you go. So on 100 stocks, S&P 100, there's 16 names that has a lower yearly bar. What does that mean? It means that the stock has taken out the 52 weeks low, meaning the last year low. Okay. So if we go to the S&P 500, there are 107 stocks out of 500 that has made a new low this year already, meaning the first quarter. So these stocks are the ones they're gonna struggle all year long now. It doesn't mean that they don't get the upside, they do, but they're just not gonna have a lot of upside once you making, consider as a lower low. So these are the names. How many were there? 107. Okay, which one are those? These ones. So Abbott Lab, okay, like you go back to 1 year. See? Now you're gonna see these candles. Oops. It's a bar because I have them as a candle. You see, it has a lower bar. It's red now. So once the candle goes red for the year, it just stays red. Unless it reverse all the way back up and take out last year high. See right there? Dipped below the last year. That was the last year. Listen, you look at the yearly candle. It's 1 year for one full candle, open, close, high and low. So all these stocks, you're gonna just see by the color. Color, the red, it means it's a lower bar, right? So now you can, it's just a long term the time. You see, just it's same rule applies. You need three lower lows, but it's on a yearly time frame. So meaning you need a 3 years of lower lows. Adobe, see, lower bar. So it's been declining for 2 years in a row. See, all these stocks, see, down here. The point is, like, it doesn't mean that these stocks cannot pop or can get like a 10, 15, 20, 30% upside. They can, because we have all year left. It doesn't mean the stock is going to go down forever. Stock will find somewhere support here, try to bounce around like 15, 30, 40, 40 points. Depends how much the stock moves. But the point is that once the bar turns red, it's just gonna stay red for the whole year now. It's just a matter of close. So what it means that these stocks, they struggle really hard, okay, making its way back up. But it doesn't mean that the stock cannot reverse. It can, but the probability for that reversal is very low. Okay. Once it turns green, you have a higher high. The price has further continuation to go. Okay, because the price is making higher highs. So some of these stocks, they just like a stock like this. I don't know what company is AON. I mean, this is the first down year for this stock. Look at this run from 2010. From 2010, it rallied all the way to 2025. That's 15 years that stock has been running, making higher highs. 15 years in a row. What do you think is gonna go forever? It finally put a red candle, red bar. So there's some stocks that are definitely pretty extended for quite some time. So, but these are the stocks there are gonna, it's gonna be very tough. Like, look at this. This is Baxter. This is a disaster. 83% drawdown for 6 years. So B6 right there is 6 years because we're looking at a yearly time frame. So number of years will make the number of bars. Like see, like especially the ones there are they have a swing down on a yearly time frame, they're done for like several years. Right away you will know that you will know one thing that these stocks will need 3 years of higher highs. Okay, so meaning that their earnings has to start coming out like a crazy, their growth, to see like, okay, yes, I see that company has a potential, or the CEO is gonna pull some magic wand that he's gonna turn this thing around. But it's gonna take a lot of time though. Yeah, as a bargain for a price, $16 compared to 95. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to buy shares at 16? If you like the stock here at 55 or 95, I'm sure you love it here and 16 now. Want to buy it. But but you have to understand one thing at the same time is you're buying a 6 years of drawdown. That doesn't mean that stock is going to go like this in 1 year. It's just this, you can kind of see like how much of the stock moves based on 1 year high to low. Some crazy year. So this is just steady growth, but just literally faded everything. So all these stocks right there, 107 so far. Okay. Here, booking.com. Look at that. This one, first bar since this low of $6.30 when the stock went to $5,839. Never seen a down the the lower yearly bar. This is the first one. See, some of these stocks are pretty long due for or some of a cool off this year. I'm watching these names. I'm just showing you this because I've looked at them. I run them every week because I don't know how many more is going to pop up or how many stocks are making a low or not for the year. Is the scanner is going to pick it up? BLDR down for 2 years. So remember the same thing, down for 2 years. So whenever this year will end, then the third year is the one is gonna fight as hell. Remember the third year always. That's the defensive. See? One, two, three. Look at that. Always gonna fight third year. First one down. Whatever, Brown, Boston. You see, like some of these stocks, they're so damn stretched over to the upside. They just sort of like due for some of a setback. Like this is like this stock. $1 Crown Castle. You know, we traded a few times this stock. I like that stock. I haven't touched it in a long time. It was a $1 stock, rallied to 209, 20,886% run for 19 years. Now stock is setting back for 5 years for 63% so far. It was down, swing is down now. It's been down for six years in a row. 5 years in a row, I'm sorry, B5. Monster run. Like these stocks are gonna take a very long time because CDW right there, two down, Charter down. You see like these Campbell down, CPT down, DoorDash is down. DoorDash is done. Domino's is done for the year. Yeah, these stocks will struggle. GoDaddy, nothing big. Humana got down 4 years. Home Depot is down. Look at that. I think it popped up yesterday with a new low. Yeah, look at that. First down candle. Look at that. All green. This just once you do this, you're just gonna lost a lot of upside for the year. General Mills, Humana, Intuitive, whatever this thing is. Innovation Homes down, you see, like all just the current one, we're just only what the first quarter so far. Lennar down. We told pull a trade, remember, didn't work out. Down. Diapers down. Kimberly Clark, Lululemon down. Yeah, Mid America, Molina, Netflix is down. You know, and Netflix not gonna have much upside. It's close to like look probably gonna most likely gonna linger around like 100. Look at the run, 23 years for 387,000. Now it's taking a bit of a setback after that. Nike down, they had a new low yesterday, down for 5 years now. It's done for the year. Service now is down. Palo Alto, Paycom, Procter Gamble. These are all just like more like weak companies, Public storage is down. You see? It made a low. Watch this. You see? It made a new low. Look at the high compared to this last year high. Look at the rejection. See how it's faded? It's just what I'm saying. It's just like once you made that low, it's very, very hard for this thing to flip. If it does flip like this to blue, it's just not gonna have much continuation to the upside either. So remember that. They don't go too far if they do flip blue. Just they're just done for the year. This is done. It's gonna be very, very hard. The, the, some of these stocks they do turn around. The fundamental comes in pretty strong. They report pretty solid earnings and stuff. Then they're gonna raise their guidance and things like this. The stock has the potential to move, but those are like doesn't happen that often. Like PayPal down. It's just a garbage company. It just should just close this company, to be honest. Just stay private, not public. Stay private. Down. What is the Rupert? Sherwin-Williams down. That's a Dow 30 stock. So if you look at like these T-Mobile down, like if you look at some of these, the tractor came rolled over. Visa is down. So we just got a Zebra is down. This one is down. Okay, I was just gonna. Ugh. Yeah, some stocks are because of the pressure right now in the market. Look at Workday. I mean, it already down to 119 from here. And like to say, this is the range for the whole year now. So, no, I mean, no, we don't have, well, the only Mag 7 that we have is Netflix here, right? We don't have anything else. So these are the ones are, they're 107, right? And then what we can do is now we try to find how many stocks they actually went up. So we need to look for, where the heck is my, gee, there's so much stuff. There's a higher bar scan. So we'll do this 1 year. How many stocks has made a new high this year? 250 out of 500, right? So we have 250, 105 on the lower side. So that's already confirmed, those 105. So we have 250. These are the ones that made new high. Boeing did. They're pulling back now because they already end up putting up a newer, the what is it, Archer Daniels right there. So yeah, Boeing, Bank of America. I'm just looking at big names. Caterpillar, Capital One, ConocoPhillips, energy stocks. They pretty much all of them they did. Dell. So these are the stocks they have the potential to run to get more upside because the stocks are making higher highs. And then not that many. I mean, not just look at the big names. None of them they did. So now if we look at how many of them are inside that has not did anything yet, meaning that they're still lingering around between the 145. You see how it balanced it out? So you have 105 that already made a new low. So you have 250, which has made a new high. And there's 145 names. They are still an inside. So that makes it 500 stocks. 107 plus 250 plus 145 is 500. So these are the stocks are waiting to make a new high for the year or not. So that's they're all gonna be black candles, bars. Inside is black, no green. See, it's all black. Apple, AbbVie, Airbnb, they're all gonna be black. Higher bar is gonna be green, lower bar is gonna be red, engulfing bar is gonna be blue. Amazon. These are the generals. APP, I don't know what is it, Broadcom. These are the stocks that I'm always looking on rotation, especially the ones that are inside on a rotation to see if you can catch a weekly buy signals on these and just try to see if we can get to the new high for the year. So these are the very good potential trades that you can look after. But it has to confirm with the rotation because you're just looking at a one bigger picture to see if it can target the previous year high. But in order for us to buy it, we need to line that thing up with the weekly time frame in order to, ride that thing up. Like Apple right there, you see, it's close, But again, it's not turned green yet. So there's some like Arista. Arista, App 11. See, they're all black. They still it needs 745. See, Broadcom needs 414. So these are good bets to make. American Express is pulling back. I mean, they can tank lower. Look at this. AutoZone. Damn, pretty darn close. Well, then if it's gonna make a new high, it's gonna get out of this scan and it's gonna go right back to the lower scan. So you just see like some of them get really, really close and then they bounce. Chipotle, Costco, 40, 852. Last year was 844. Yeah, some of these big names, yeah, they don't give up that easily. Meaning that they're not gonna make like, Disney say sideways. I mean, we don't know. I mean, it could end the year sideways as well. Yeah, you don't know that. You just don't know. There's many stocks you see like this year was back in 2021. This stock just closed the year in being sideways. And this thing can close sideways as well for the whole year. It just doesn't move. But we look for stocks, they have better ATR, right? And the stock that kind of move. Yeah, those not just 10, $11 stocks. That's what this Ruben obsessed with. I never seen a guy obsessed with 10, $15 stock as much he does. What kind of an alpha you can get on an $18 stock? Somebody can just, okay, so just do the math. So you want to buy an $18 stock right now. So you wanted to go from 18 to 22, give or take, right? So you getting obsessed over a $4 move. So if you have 100 shares, be $400. Forget about options. For $18 move, get to 22, that's going to be a very big stretch because these are low ATR stocks. Here, just giving an example, you can buy a Meta. A stock is at 593. You don't want to buy shares. Okay, fine. Let's say you can buy shares. All you need here is 4 points to make the same $400 that you're trying to make here. The 4 points can happen overnight. Stock can open $5 tomorrow with the gap up. But you sit in here for a 4 point move. If you don't want to buy shares, depends, what you feel comfortable. You can just do a spread to make a spread of 100 delta spread. That's not the point, putting money, that's a different thing. But the point is like you're trying to catch a 4 point move. This will happen in one single session. This thing can happen from 18 to 22, probably like in a couple months. But you just getting obsessed over that 2, 3, 4 point move. An $18 stock is gonna have an ATR of probably like 1.5. A stock with the 493 has an ATR is gonna be probably like what? Look it up. 16? No, 17 right now. So 593, okay. 17 is the ATR. 100 was that's $1,700 times 100. One session. But here people are obsessed with because it's $18. I'm buying cheap. Well, look how much of the stock actually moves for you to buy a consider an $18 stock. You want to buy something, you have to make sure that if even that makes sense for you to even own it. You can do the back and when here. This stock moves 27 points on on based on 1 year. That's a one standard deviation move. It's 42 for this Garmin. Some stocks at 27. Live Nation like 27, 18 for MetLife. There, 21. Just, you know, doesn't mean like hey, Nvidia 22. Nvidia don't have a lot of I mean, Nvidia is a cheap stock, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't have, it doesn't move much on a yearly basis. Look at that. Okay, let's do this. Last year was a dip was there, so 2.2, sorry, 212 minus 86. That's 126 points. 126 points divided by 22, that's almost like a 5 standard deviation move right there between high and low. It's a low ATR. This is a low ATR stock. That thing is gonna be not on a yearly. Probably no. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I gotta do. You can't do on a yearly now. Yearly is not gonna. You gotta do it on a weekly basis. Weekly is 13. Yeah, it's declining because it's chopping it out. Which is the 171. Which is the stock move? 754, 473, 281. That's a 281 point move. Palantir is 17. 156.75 minus 149.09. 7.66. Well, it was an inside week. Okay. Wow. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. Look at that. This actually stock is Palantir has a double inside week. Last week, a week before was inside. This is an inside. Well, this thing is gonna move next month, next week. You have the sharp pattern, double inside week. Don't see anywhere two side by side black ones. No, nothing here. Just to get an idea which way it breaks, like which way it broke the last time. No, don't see it. Don't see two black was here, but it's a green in the middle. There you go. There's double inside week here. Got a big pop back here in 2020. Huh. So watch Palantir next week. It's gonna be interesting. It happens once. This is the second time. You see two blacks side by side? See, it didn't break the last week high. Just see, stayed in between, high and low. Yeah, watch this one next week. Verizon is, look at here. Sitting at 50. Oh boy. Pretty big. Evening star, that's a bullish candle right there as well for the weekly close. Upside 53 and 57 is the further continuation. Had a pretty wild run, so 22, 27, down 1 week, 69 inches. Had a down week, 2.72. Yeah, these signals are good, but we just need to hold the damn low. That's all it is. You know, I bought this. Well, I don't even know how it's gonna play out. Amazon, because of this, look how freaking close we are. Jeez, I mean, it's not, just gotta have to just cut it. Thing we can do. I saw this at Mag 7. I see a buy signal on the weekly. I mean, I don't even hold myself back. I get in. I opened this trade on Google. Sorry, on Amazon, and it did play it out good. And then it just with the market, yeah. Where the heck it went? Where did I open this? It was a nice move to the upside to 250 right there. Monday. You see? 904. So that's when all these fresh signals triggers right in the morning after the open. Probably triggered at the open, but then by the time I went through it, I saw it 904. So like I said, I'm in. I opened the trade, 220, 230 call spread. And we had a good start on this. You see it right there, 215. I was looking for this fucking thing to move up from here to take out this previous high, but it did. It just backs off. So still open. And that pretty darn close. We just need to hold this low right there. So if we can manage to survive next week that'd be nice. We'll see what happens. Evening star, that's a bullish candle. Down 11 to down 1.11. 2 weeks down. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, more is gonna come. I know that for sure, but the service now has it. We did a trade on that one, so this one needs to hold this low, 105. Just the low has to hold. That's all it is. That this signals work, but when the overall market is under pressure, well, everything is down. You know, Palantir has it as well, right there. It triggered back 2 weeks ago against 126 low. Yeah, just sitting at 150, right at this ATR line. Palantir got a Oracle has, look at that. I took a screenshot of these and sent it to you. Like 141 has to hold this week low. So it triggered this week. and which is the low of the previous week low, which was 141.18. So that has to hold for this thing to play. See right here, work its way up. So anything can happen, stock can turn around. But that low has to hold. That's the thing. See, look at that. It's pulling back. You see why it's pulling back? Because it has a lower yearly bar. You see year down? It just, you're not gonna have much upside when you have a year down. So when I send you this, you pay attention to this on the top. The boy rolled over. A huge, beautiful trade. But look at that. Full reversal. I'm gonna buy again, but I'm gonna wait. This rotation just not helping on this. See, just going deep. That's why I'm watching, but not gonna jump on them. Just wait. That was like this is one of those trades that you just put it on and it just instantly take off. You know, week after week after week, it just rip into the upside. Well, now look at that now. The way it's coming back down. Some stocks just crazy, man. John Deere is coming down. IBM, nothing there. Eli Lilly, but, took a huge hit this week. 7.997, 7.96, month 13, 15, year to date. Year is up. So remember, this is the stock that I showed you, I believe, last week or week before, because these are the stock that were going into the weakening quadrant. Remember, Eli Lilly was in there. I remember that. I told this is the. I even sent a screenshot. I say like, just stay away from these stocks. There's nothing there yet. Uber has one, struggling. Uber has a potential of a huge doji. A lot of evening star candles, to be honest, for next week. If you pay attention to this, some do, some not. Not all of them. But that's a bearish engulfing candle. Oh boy, here goes the French fries. That's a bearish engulfing candle. It tells you I have some patterns, and it doesn't mean just a hint. Doesn't mean anything. These candle patterns are just some of them are. That's the bear engulfing candle. Hey, Evening Star is bearish engulfing. Oh boy, Nvidia. Oh, because of an outside week. That's why. Okay. Yeah, it's engulfing. It engulf. It's called engulfing candle. Salesforce. Dead, dead, dead. Right at the low. Verizon, we looked at AT&T. Same as Verizon. AIG. This stock is wild. Up and down like a crazy. Stock rips, it rips. You see? And a full flush. Look at that. This stock is wild. I've traded only once. It takes very sharp turns. You know? T-Mobile rotation looks really strong on a weekly. Said Booking has just got one. Booking has a year down. Remember? Yeah, Booking is not gonna have a wild upside this year. This is the first down year, the first lower bar for the year for this stock since it was $6. Think about it for a second. Right now it's down 19% for the year, but it's just gonna linger. It's just gonna lingering around here there. I'd love to do a butterfly on this one, but first it's gonna cost a lot, and second, just the premium. I remember I hit a butterfly on this one. That was crazy payout. This butterfly pays rich. Really, really good. Pretty wide plus scars. I don't know. Like depends how I'm gonna do it. It's gonna probably gonna cost me like at least like 6 grand, $5,000 to $6,000 just for one contract. And it's gonna move like a crazy because the bid and ask is so wide. So butterfly is just you need a lot of patience to kind of go through those. I mean, the prints are not final print, but then to get out of the trade is is not easy either. Those three strikes has to line up to give you a fill. Yeah, I happen to be in the in the zone, so I just let the thing expire. Let them you close it. I'm sit here and fight myself. Um, Adobe, FedEx didn't get much upside after earnings. Remember, see, because it has a sell signal on it. That's why it had a wild run. Okay, show is over. 11:30. Gotta go something to eat. All right, let's see what we can do. Last 7 days. I'm gonna clean up some of the garbage, to be honest. Yeah, what it is, what it is. There's nothing we can do. I'm just the gonna just clean up some of these trades. It just this absolutely makes zero sense to hold it. This is expired. SMCI, the freaking fraud, $1.63. Yeah, I'm just gonna I have these ones are working, which is fine. Amazon is gonna be okay. Qs are fine. Have plenty of time on that one. Oh, uh, and up to, okay, I got the leap here, one leap. Because I only closed this was the brutal leap. Look at that. 11-point move. And I'm making like 30, $40. Nike already cut them. Microsoft. Yeah, I'm just gonna clean some of these trades. Just I don't want that's garbage. We'll we'll deal with this thing. So what my plan is. I'm not because some of them are carryover. We're doing the new ones, but some of these were just carrying over from from last month or a month and a half or so. Yeah, I'm just gonna clean these some of these up. Just we'll see in the next 7 days. We'll see if I can find one or two more trades. I'm really hoping that we could nail this butterfly next week, this one. And we can just nail this one, will be nice. So we'll see what happens. Can count your chickens before they hatch. Just we're gonna uh, Amazon is okay. I hope Amazon just makes this against the yeah, these three is gonna go Disney, Tree, Hymns. Yeah, this badge is gotta go. Yeah, I'm not getting myself into these stupid weird names. Just wanna do more the quality names. Yeah, I'm just I do like this stock. I mean, if I might hold this one, the tree. It's a very good. I'm watching that thing and it just fricker took such a huge hit. You know, stuck at a 51, 52 that we paid for it or something like that, right there. So I like the story of a lower rate, and they're pretty big, with financing and all that kind of stuff. So I thought like, okay, the taco is gonna cut rates and it should benefit. That's what my fundamental, my planning was. I looked into their financials and stuff as well over the weekend. I do a lot of stuff like I'm not do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of like looking basically at nighttime and stuff. Like, we're downstairs, like, I should like sitting watching TV, this and that. I'm like on the phone. I'm just like kind of, looking through one stock, ask ChatGPT, hey, pull up the financials on this, look at through earnings and stuff. So I'm always doing that. There's some company that I will kind of come across on a technical side and stuff, and then I will just kind of like this stock. I'm staying freaking bullish on this stock. The stock has upside, you know. So we'll see what happens. It's been chopping around for a while, so I'm just not gonna let it go for now. We'll see what happens. Now, this company right there has solid earnings, okay, and their future, their guidance is strong. They reported solid, like like this kind of a company that kind of has a pretty good potential. It's worth holding. So that's why I'm still hanging on to it. So we'll see. Much better than PayPal and all that. Their business is pretty good. If you look at their financials, are they're doing good. They're doing very good. So so a lot of sometimes he'll be like talking, saying something to me or something. I was like, what? What do you say? Because I'm always like kind of like reading. He's like, do you ever pay attention? I was like, okay, well, fine. What do you want to repeat it? Repeat again. Just all right. I gotta go. Have a good rest of the day. We'll manage.
Thank you.
You're welcome.